David Oscar Markus joins us now. David, thanks for being here with us. We are now through another full week of testimony in this case. I'm curious what stood out to you and what you're thinking as this is all unfolding.
Hey, Jessica, it's huge week for both the prosecution and defense. And one of the biggest moments, I think, was not when the witness was on the stand, but during a moment when the judge scolded Diddy and his lawyers for Diddy nodding and looking at the jurors. It was a really interesting moment. There's, of course, nothing wrong. Trials are dramas, we have to remember. Jurors are watching everything going on, from the defendant to the prosecutors to the witnesses. They want to see what clothes people are wearing, whether the defendant opens the door for the lawyers, those types of things. So there's nothing wrong with a client or a defendant looking at the jury or even nodding, but the judge got very upset about it. I can understand if Diddy was making a disruption. He wasn't. When a judge could get upset with that. And of course, the witnesses, the latest witness, Jane, was sobbing on the stand, and prosecutors prep her for how to act on the stand and things like this, and the judge didn't get upset with that. So this was a big moment. Diddy now has to sort of stay stoic and not make reactions with the jury. And apparently one of the jurors was kind of engaging him with eye contact. So it's really interesting to see that back and forth with the jury and Diddy.
It is fascinating, and the judge threatening to throw him out if he kept doing it. It seems, listen, as a defense attorney, I can imagine that is not what you want. You want your client in the courtroom. You don't want to have to explain that to the jury.
Yeah, the judge is not going to throw him out. That's not going to happen. He was just trying to make a point that Diddy needs to stay calm and not react. There's a great story. There was a trial in Miami. Pedro Guerrero, the all-star baseball player, was on trial. The great Milt Hirsch, my former partner, was representing him. And the defense at this drug conspiracy trial was that Guerrero was not smart enough to do the deal. So Milt told Guerrero, just look at your shoes the whole time. Don't look at the jury. Don't do anything. Make it seem like you're really, really dumb. And the jury acquitted him. So jurors look at these things during the trial. They look at the defendant to see how he's reacting.
And then just lastly, we played that clip of the audio that was shared with the jury. When you have audio clips, when you hear a defendant in their own voice, how persuasive is that to a jury?
Yeah, it's really, really important, obviously, but I didn't see that audio clip as all that bad for the defense. Jane testified that she wanted to be in this relationship at the beginning, wanted to do the hotel nights, and then wanted her rent paid. The question is, are these types of transactional relationships, do they rise to the level of RICO? The defense, of course, is going to argue they're consensual. We see the same thing going on, by the way, in the Harvey Weinstein trial, which just wrapped up. The jury has that case now with the defense lawyer, Artie Aidala, arguing, that the women used Harvey Weinstein as much as he used them. So these types of arguments are going on with jurors right now. And we're going to have to see how the cross comes up with Jane this week about her wanting that rent paid, her continuing with the relationship, and so on.
Yeah, okay, so more starting on Monday. David Oscar Markus, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.